It is time to take calls from around the world in regards to this UFO phenomenon. It's happening right now, and you know it. You've seen a UFO. Most people probably have, but they're not going to tell anybody because they're afraid to share their experience, and that's why we're here. That's why we have the lines open every Friday to share your story, because it's important, and people need to hear it, because we're not alone in this experience, people. So it's time to start to wake up that we're not alone. So let's go to some callers. They are lining up, and it will be something I'm sure we've never heard before. So let's prepare ourselves and have an open mind to whatever's out there. 541, you're live. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Blake.
Before I get to
this is
how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good, man.
Doing good. Before I want to get to your story, I just wanted to share this photograph that I'm sharing right now. We're going to be posting it up tonight, and it's coming in all the way from Holland. And it's a quite unusual photograph. I've seen something like this before, and the whole world was blowing up. It was captured over in Alaska, if I'm not mistaken, and it almost looks like the same kind of glowing spherical object. This was captured in Holland by Daniel Uldrichs. Yeah, I hope I got the name right, but I'm reaching out to him. I told him it's a nice catch. We're sharing it right here. He shared it to our Facebook, and that's where a lot of information comes in. So I wanted to put that shout out there before we get going. So let's get to it. What was your name again?
It's Philip.
Hey, Philip. Welcome to the show, man. Where are you calling from?
Hey, thanks, man. I'm calling from Eugene, Oregon, actually.
Eugene, Oregon. All right. That's kind of what's it out there? Kind of cold, woods.
Actually, right now it's kind of cool, but during the day it's kind of warm. Like today, you got up to about 95 degrees today, actually. So. Yeah.
Well, it's summertime. We're approaching. Well, we're in summer, so. But I bet you it gets pretty cold during the winter time, huh?
It does. It rains a lot too.
Yeah. So what
I was going to ask you, I want to see your opinion about this. I've seen over the last couple of months, I've been seeing a lot of, I know your channel's about UFOs, but I was wondering if you think chemtrails has anything to do with that at all, or is that just the atmosphere? Or it's like I see a lot of chemtrails in the sky here in Eugene, and I'm not sure what that means. I've heard it's bad for us to inhale that shit. Excuse the language. Should say that, but sorry about that. But
that's all right. It is shit.
I don't know how to I want to contact somebody and have them stop doing that. But who do I contact? Who would I contact about finding out what this stuff is? You know what I mean? If you go to the government, they're just going to tell me, hey, deal with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, because if it's affecting us,
usually
health. You know what I mean?
Yeah, usually when I get these videos, and some of them, let me tell you, are UFO related, because there's a lot of UFO activity around these chemtrails, and maybe sometimes they're not chemtrails whatsoever. They could be meteors that they're not warning us about breaking up in our atmosphere. There's a lot of weird stuff, but I got a feeling there is a lot of poison coming out of some of these chemtrails, and they're doing it purposely. Who, why, what, for what's the reason? I couldn't tell you. And the problem is, too, is we get really close up. People are giving us incredible video, and you get right on the airplane, but then you're not getting any kind of numbers. So we could at least we could report that plane and go, look, we got the evidence, and go somewhere and complain on that. But right now, the serial numbers on these airplanes, they're just pretty much blank, or we're not capturing that. So I got a feeling that's what it's going to take, right? You can't report somebody if you don't know who to tell, but they should have the plates on there. So they know why they're up there 30, 40,000 feet up in the air doing this stuff. They could do it in plain sight and get away with it, and who's going to complain? Complain to whom?
I was going to say, I'm prior military myself. I'm a prior, I'm a veteran myself. Used to be a Marine, and I don't trust our government. You know what I mean? I don't even trust our government.
You're already there. Yep.
But, I don't love our government, put it that way. You know what I mean?
You saw what their operata was. Yeah. They have a weird agenda in some cases. And they make you do things that you're not sure if you're not doing the right thing or not. So that there's a conflict of interest at points. But hey, thanks for serving, man. Thanks for that.
No, thank you. Well, thank you.
Appreciate
and I
that.
love your show, by the way. I appreciate your show, and I like what you do. And I'm I'm glad there's somebody out there that has the balls to actually talk about this kind of stuff, because this stuff, to me, it's not fake. There's something going on we don't know about, and I wish that it was, even being in the military, I don't know everything. Nobody does. Not everybody thinks that when you're in the military, you know secrets. You don't. Even they hide it from you, even. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a strange world we live in, but I hope that there's some good people out there like the caller just that called in, man, because, it's people like this that call in, ask questions, big questions, and then they create a discussion. So I appreciate that, man. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your time.
All right. No problem.
All right,
Let's thanks. Chemtrails, we're not looking for videos of chemtrails unless they're extraordinary, that you've never seen anything like this. There are all over the skies. What they are, we have no idea. People are speculating that, it's not good for us. So we could pretty much go on that because it doesn't look too good. It looks kind of disconcerting if you ask me, people. Let's go to area code 204. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's in Canada.
Okay, Manitoba.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name's Grayson, actually. This is my first time calling in, but I watch your videos every day.
Nice.
Whenever you have a new one up, I'm watching it. But what I want to talk about was in my area, the past good year, I was with my girlfriend a couple of times, and we always look up, right? And there's a couple of times where we've seen it looked like stars, but they weren't stars. They looked too close. You know what I mean? They're just above the cloud line and all that. It's crazy, and it's they're not even really disc shaped. They're more organic. You know what I mean? They're just moving.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there some wind going on over there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of wind. We have a flat plains and all that. We don't have hills.
Well, so how long did the sighting last? They seemed like luminous objects in the sky. Two of them paired up, too close to be stars underneath the cloud line.
Yeah. And there was this one time when I was walking down this dirt road that we have just in the back of my house, and we looked up, and it wasn't straight up in the air, but more of you just look up a bit, and I seen these two orbs going in a circular motion in the sky, with each other. It's almost like they were playing tag. It was so creepy.
Nice. Some tag games going on up there. A little bit of childish play, possibly. Yeah. But it's not child's play when you're seeing what you're seeing. You're seeing something that you've never seen before. You can't explain it. And I thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for sharing. So how close are you two from the Jackhead Reservation? First Nation.
Honestly, that's actually really far. I'm usually I go to the North Dakota or South Dakota Plains and all that, and if you go up there, you get a great visionary of the stars and all that up there. And you could if you look, you could see stuff there. Honestly, it's great now. Even as a kid, I'd always look up in the sky, to think I'd see UFOs and all that, and I wouldn't. But now, whenever I do and actually pay attention, you actually see stuff in the sky. It's crazy.
Well, I'm sure if you do that anywhere, especially Jackhead First Nation Indian Reservation in Manitoba, you're going to see all kinds of activity. There was a major cover-up by the military, by the Canadian military, telling people to be quiet, not to tell them what went down. Apparently, a UFO crashed out there in Manitoba, and
my mom,
did you hear about that?
Yeah, actually, I do, because my mom actually told me about that. What was I going to say?
Yeah, it's all true, man. It's all true. We got hundreds of emails confirming from the area, but then everybody kind of went dead silent once the blackout media techniques and blackout whatever it took. They shut them up over there, And there wasn't much information that came out a few days after we broke that news, but it was quite a ride. Thanks for calling in, Matt. Thanks for calling in. Now let's get to another caller. We got some callers in. They're lining up, so this is good. Let's get to area code 915. You're on the show.
Oh, hello. Good morning. Could you hear me?
I hear you, man. Roger.
Oh,
what's your name, sir?
This is great. My name is, well, for the purpose of this call, let's just say my name is Laverne. I live out here near Fort Bliss. It's the largest military Air Force base in the continental U.S. And I gotta say, after camping out here as frequently as possible, you just start to see. I feel as though like a lot of the sightings may not necessarily be aliens, but the government creating secret false sightings. Like in order to throw it off, because there are very strange and futuristic craft that they don't approach the main runways, but they land out in the desert. I've seen, at first I thought it was a sprite, the lightning that occurs above the clouds in the ionosphere. Have you heard of those?
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm getting calls from all ends. Let me take this down. I can't take Skypes right now. Hold the Skypes. All right. So you camp out at the world's largest Air Force base on the continental U.S. And what was the Air Force base name again? Fort Bliss. Gotcha.
Fort Bliss.
Okay.
Yes, it's the largest Army Air Force base.
All right. So then you camp out there. They don't allow civilians to camp out on the base. How does this work?
No. You see, you get off outside of the freeway near where they are, and then you just hike out. You don't go. I don't go onto the property. You see, but I stay out with my telescope. And you've heard of lightning sprites, yes?
Lightning strike?
Sprites, like the soda.
Lightning Sprite. No, man. I don't know. What's it all about? Is this some kind of operation?
No, it's something that's mistaken for UFOs. I thought I saw one, but it moved in a way that a Sprite wouldn't move. You could Google it. It's a recently rediscovered and confirmed phenomenon that occurs with a particularly powerful lightning strike. But the particular thing, it appeared to be a structure above the cloud that was temporarily illuminated by the orange glow of the city.
I missed you on that. What'd you say?
I saw. I'm sorry. I'm a little enthusiastic at the moment. There was
no problem.
What I thought appeared to be a lightning sprite above the cloud, but it appeared more to be a reflection, a temporary reflection of the orange glow of the city against the side of a very large aircraft that I had never seen before.
So what do you think's going on over there? What do you think's going on over there?
It's hard to say, but I've got some theories working. You see, they have very futuristic aircraft here, and they take off. I'm not sure where they're going. They could be meeting with this interstitial larger ship hovering in the ionosphere. But have you ever? Well, I guess without the dollars or Sprite. Have you? You could Google that real quick. You could see what I'm talking about.
We'll look it up. But you know what you should do if you're out there? What do you go out there for? Just to keep an eye on things? Hopefully you're going to see something special. Is that your agenda?
Oh, I've always been extremely interested in the supernatural, but also in technology in general. And I'm working on the engineering degree. Aerospace technology is really, really a big part of my life. As well as this whole secrecy around these UFOs. I've been part of CAUF for at least 12 years now. Citizens Against UFO Secrecy.
Yeah, no, well, that's good. That's good. That's very honorable, and there should be no secret behind it whatsoever. National security or what, it doesn't matter. we as a human being race should be privy to the information.
I completely agree. It feels like a waste of time continuing to run off of the same fossil fuels, destroying the atmosphere. It's bad enough, as your previous caller said, that they're polluting our air with chemtrails, which we do know does also come from extraterrestrial technology.
Yeah, it's all, get it out, people. Or somebody whistleblow it. Snowden do something. He might have the evidence. Apparently, he does. I think he does. He's just kind of skipping around, maybe saving it for another time. But yeah, it's got to get out. It's got to get out. Hey, man, this is good information coming in. Good questions. What I want this caller to do is next time you get back to the base, if you could get a camera or get some good evidence, because that's what it's going to take. It takes a lot of good evidence. Thank you, sir.
No problem. You have a great night. Bye.
All right. Appreciate it. Callers are calling in, so we got to get it to them. But, man, good questions tonight. Good questions. Let's get to the next caller right now. You're live. Get ready. Get your phone ready. 480. You're up. 480. 480's got to go. Do I got a Skype call? Skype calls? No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Maybe. You want to try Skype real quick? We'll try. Skype works sometimes, but I rather direct call-ins. And the number to call in is 347-934-0378. You know what? We'll try this Skype call. We'll try it right now. We'll try it. So we got a Skype, and Oren is with us. Welcome to the show, Oren.
Hi, Blake. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good, man. You're coming in real loud and clear, so that's kind of cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so you wanted to call into the show. What do you want to share? What do you want to share with us, and where are you calling from?
I am calling from Alberta, Canada.
Wow, 2 callers from Canada. And are you born in Canada?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay, man. Well, let's get to it, eh?
All right, so I'll first say when I was in BC 2 years ago, 2 years ago, and I was taking a course there for acting. And interestingly enough, I learned about some meditation stuff and opening up certain consciousness channels and stuff to connect with like aliens. And I was trying to connect with the Pleiadian race, I believe. And I made a mistake when I was learning some of the stuff from people off of YouTube. There was actually a warning attached to it that said you should be careful when you do this, because not only take the call when you're doing it, but others can. And just before, I'd say it was about, it was around 1:20, 1:30 when I decided to just okay, I did the meditation thing, and I'm like, okay, let's go to sleep and see if maybe something happens. So I wake up and it's about 2:10, and I just kind of felt something was off. And I lived in a basement suite, and I had 2 roommates. And I walked out of my room and walked towards one of my roommates' rooms. I was door to see if he was awake. He was pretty much asleep, but I opened his door, and I could see out of his blinds in our backyard, there was like this bright light. And so I wake him up, and I was like, hey, man, I think there's something just outside of our house. And he's like, okay. So he's a younger guy, and he just opens up the blinds right away. And this bright light shines in. I'm like, dude, close your freaking blinds, man. I'm like, we don't even know what's out there. So he's like, what's wrong? And so we quickly close the blinds. And I'm like, hey, that obviously was not a helicopter or anything. I don't know what that was. And so we open the blinds just a tiny bit to peek to see what it is. And just this huge, blinding white light comes in and just blinds us pretty much. And after rubbing our eyes and shit, we open our eyes, and I don't know if teleportation occurred or something, but both him and I were in my house back in Alberta.
What?
And I'm like, yeah. And so he's looking at me, and he's like, what the hell's going on? What's happening? And he's like really loud. And I'm like, dude, shut up. quiet. I'm trying to process this. I don't know what's going on. And so I'm like, okay, this looks like my house. So he's like, okay, well, how the hell did we get here? And I'm like, just hold on a second. I'm like, let's walk to my bedroom because at least I know this is my house. Like I started looking around, my eyes were adjusting. And I'm like, okay, it's nighttime still. This is messed up. So walk towards the hallway, and we have about a 12-foot long hallway. And there's like 3 little lights. And I turned on the hallway lights, but the one at the back didn't turn on. It was kind of like dark. And when I looked down there, I saw like some kind of figure standing at the end of the hall. And I got this kind of off-put feeling. And I was just like, okay, let's just go into the bathroom, because like my room was at the end of the hall and where we were was right near the bathroom. So I'm like, let's just go in here and close the door, because I don't know what the heck that is. My friend continuously is just like, oh my God, what is that? What did we see? And he just kept being really loud and really just shocked, which makes sense. But I was really trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And so I'm like, dude, shut up. You need to be quiet, because I need to figure out what this is. I don't know why we're at my house. I don't know why this is happening, but just calm down. So we waited a couple moments for what felt like, I don't know, 2 minutes or so in the bathroom, just sitting there. And I feel like, I'm like, okay, I think whatever's out there is gone. So we open the door and I look down the hall, and the lights are normal and there's nothing there. So I'm like, okay, I obviously know that we're in my house. So let's go into my room just to, I don't know, I know where I had a flashlight, because I left my stuff still the same, because I was going to be coming back home after school. So I went to one of my drawers and pulled out a flashlight, and I'm like, let's go outside just to make sure that this isn't some kind of weird thing and we know where we are. So we go outside, and everything looks like how it normally does when I was out in front of my house. And I'm like, okay, so I have no idea how we got out here. And then as I was looking at my friend, telling him some stuff, he's like, oh, holy shit. And we look back, and there's a ship, like, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 feet just above us, and big white bright flood kind of lights go on us again, and boom, back in Vancouver, back in the basement suite. I'm in my roommate's room, and he's just out, like on his bed, passed out. And so I'm like scratching my head for a couple seconds, thinking, I'm like, okay, did that all just freaking happen? Like, I'm just in awe and belief. I'm like, I don't believe what just happened. So I slowly close his door, leave his room, and I start walking back to my room. And just as I'm like passing the threshold of my doorway, I felt that same kind of feeling that I did when I was back in the house of the whatever it was at the end of the hall. In my head, clear as day, I heard like, you can go to sleep now. And I just like passed out on my bed. And I woke up literally right after that in like a cold sweat, and just was like, what the hell was that? I was like freaking out, turned on my light. I just like was like, okay, maybe I'm going to play some Candy Crush or whatever just to get this out of my mind. And I'm going to ask my roommate in the morning, like not to sound crazy, and be like, hey, did you have a weird dream or something? So I wait until morning. I go and knock on his door. He's still out in the same position that I saw him from what happened. And so I wake him up, and I'm like, hey, man, did you have kind of a weird dream last night? And he's like, yeah, no, it was, it's like, yeah, it's kind of fuzzy, but he's like, you were in my dream, and we were like at your house or something. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, what else? He's like, well, you kept telling me to shut up and calm down, because like there was something in the sky and this bright white light. And I just started kind of like going, oh, okay, maybe that was actually real. And so I ran into my room after and went on like YouTube again, looking through those meditations, and I was like, what went wrong? What's happening? What was this? And then I checked and saw like, warning, you might, contact Grays or something else. And I think that what we saw was Grays, and maybe they were testing teleportation on us, because we were in my house and then we were right back in Vancouver. So it was crazy. Like, and I do remember what the figure looked like at the end of the hall. Like, it was about 4 feet tall, big head, pitch black eyes, which like it was weird, because normally I would have had like a fear, but it wasn't really a fear. It was more like just a
Yeah, a wild ride. It sounds like it sounds so cool. Sounds so cool. You know, there's some technical difficulties on the Skype, so we're going to have to end it there. But we are going to be taking still calls from around the world. So, you know what? Let's just play it cool. Everybody hang tight. Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins. We'll be right back. Everybody, we're back, and we are live, and we're taking your calls from around the world. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. You know, you've seen a UFO, you've seen something amazing, and you don't know who to share it to, you know who to call. Third Phase of Moon, that too. So let's get to it. Let's go to 443. We're live. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is the Truth from Baltimore.
Hey, Truth, what's up, man? What's going on in Baltimore? What's going on?
Well, you guys know I normally give y'all a call at least once a year to give you the update.
Yeah,
and,
that's
still
for
a lot
sure.
of stuff going on here in Baltimore, so I'm still getting a lot of stuff on film. And the other night, I just moved, and the other night, I was sitting out here, and I was watching you guys on YouTube.
Nice.
And the same direction that I'm looking in, all of a sudden I saw a bright light appeared over the top of the apartment complex that's right across from me.
So you're watching Third Phase of Moon. You're watching Third Phase of Moon, checking out, looking out for the latest UFOs from the people like you. Next thing you know, simultaneously something goes, that's cool, man. Go ahead.
And now, guys, this may have been Mars, or I know that they said something about Mars is close right now or whatever, but whatever this light was, I felt like it was a real UFO. And like it just appeared in the moment of me, going over stuff that I'm checking out on YouTube, and I'm thinking at the same time, I'm hoping that I could have, a pretty good UFO sighting right about now, and it happened. It happened, guys. Now, I took about 20 photographs, and I got a video. And the video is about 20 minutes long. And it looks like to me that the UFO is slightly rising, as I'm filming it. It's slowly rising, getting higher and higher and higher. And I have all of this on film. Now, I also have some good news for you guys. I got my book deal. My book will be available to the public within the next 6 months, probably. And I wanted to say shout out to Dr. J, F1, Flip It For You, Chalice, Jack, Cousins, brothers, everybody that's caught up in this puzzle. But we have to bring all the knowledge that we have together to the same table, guys, to get the answers that we all seek. And I'm telling you, we all are getting them individually, and we need to bring this all together to one table and see what we come up with, guys. Maybe we can do it in July.
Yeah, well, we're going to be coming to California in July, so you might want to meet us over there. Truth, what's the name of the book? Have you come up with the title yet?
Yes, sir, I did. The name of the book is going to be called The West Baltimore Story.
You might want to put in UFO in there.
Oh, it's a lot of UFO information in there, guys. You know what it is. I also shouted you guys out in the book.
Nice.
Dr. J as well. You guys actually helped me get this deal. I thank y'all. I love y'all for doing everything that y'all doing. And believe me, guys, people that's really having these experiences, we know what's going on. And we're going to keep this. We're going to do everything we can to get this closure. And go Hillary Clinton. Go Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is talking about, if she gets in there, she's going to, expose some things, and we're going to have to hold her to that, guys. We're going to have to hold her to that. So I know you guys will promote political stuff.
Got to hold it to
Hillary
somebody.
Clinton. That's right. We're going to hold her responsible because she's going to become the next president of the United States of America. You heard it first from the truth. Okay? There's no way she's going to lose to Donald Trump. There's no way she's going to lose to Bernie Sanders. She's already won. Okay? So it's just a matter of time for everything to come out. But, yeah, I got also, you guys may remember, 12 Marines went missing in Hawaii. 12 Marines went missing in Hawaii. And,
they sure did.
I was looking on the news, like right after that happened, and guys, I swear, the big Herculean airplanes that they normally use to try to locate the guys, the ones that found the rafts? They found the rafts, but they never found the Marines. Well, I got on video and photos of a UFO guys flying in the opposite direction of this Herculean plane that's looking for these Marines. I have it, and I can send it to you guys ASAP. That is not a problem. But
get it to our Facebook,
guys,
man. Get it to us, Truth. And yeah, it's in our backyard too. You would figure 12 missing, troops, Marines, if I'm not mistaken. Where's the tracking devices on these guys? It should be a no-brainer when they're doing overseas military operations. But yeah, our hearts go out to the families, and we got to get down to the truth. Truth, appreciate it. Call in during July. Maybe we'll hook up in LA, man. Good caller, and the Truth has been through a lot, so we're looking forward to his book. That's for dang sure, people. I know I am. So, you know what? There's a lot of callers. We got F1 here. We're going to get to F1 in a bit because people like to hear what F1's got to say. But let's get to some callers right now. 971. You're on the air. (971), you there? All right. We're going to have to drop 971. Sorry about that. Let's move along to 505. You're live.
Hey, Blake. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good, man. What state are you calling from?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All right.
I have a little story to Dominic.
All right, Dominic. Welcome to the show,
story, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I watch you pretty much, man. My story takes place probably back like in the early 90s. I was, I want to say like I was maybe about 11 or so. I was pretty much sick that day, and I got sent to the nurse. And I skipped lunch, and then I finally woke up, and they sent me to go play outside. So I went outside to go in the bleachers, and I was watching the kids play baseball. And out of a sudden, I looked up, and there was like a little oval-shaped, like a UFO, had no windows, nothing. And it was watching the kids play baseball. And I want to say it was probably about maybe 3 light poles high, and it was just right there, just hovering just right over the kids. And then I tapped that kid on the bleachers, and I told him, hey, man, look. I pointed at it. And when I pointed at it, it kind of like went back and forth like a little, like hello, like it kind of went left and right, like a little quick little, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, man. And then all of a sudden it just went boom, and it took off it just boom, it took off. And all of a sudden we were like, wow. And then all of a sudden it came right back to the same spot. And it was just very low. It had, like I said, it had no windows, it had nothing. And then the funny thing about it is I seen that kid probably like about 7 years ago at the casino. And I told him, hey, do you remember one time when we seen that UFO? And he freaked out. He goes, yeah, man, I'm glad you remember. And I was like, yeah, me too. So whatever we saw, it was there. And then there's a lot of stories going on about, I don't know if you ever heard about the Archuleta Mesa.
Yeah, and this is way before drone technology, and it's kind of cool when you recall a memory with a friend about a UFO. You never forget the experience. Go ahead. What?
Well, you figure I'm 38 years old, so I was at least 11.
Yeah, it stands out, and it sounds quite amazing. Yeah, the thing you had,
and there's a lot of
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's a lot of stories going on with the Archuleta Mesa because I used to talk to a native. Have you ever heard of the Archuleta Mesa?
No. Enlighten me, please.
Okay, the Archuleta Mesa is in the borderline of New Mexico and Colorado. And there you go. Dulce, New Mexico. And I actually talked to this native girl that lived there, and she had told me some stories about they used to hear like screams and everything coming from that mountain when they used to go kind of hiking up there. Like there was like vents and stuff like that. And people say that there's a seven layer something that the Greys and the scientists are working together. And just last week, it was on the news here that these old folks that were there, they seen a half goat and a half man walking around by the Archuleta Mesa. So whatever's going on over there, they're either mixing breeds, and they think that people that are getting abducted, they're getting abducted and they're doing experiments over there.
What would they call a half goat, man, in your language?
You know what, man? I have no clue, man. I'm Hispanic and I understand the language, but I don't speak it that good. But I really think that they're messing around with a lot of stuff here. And and to tell you the truth, like everybody has their own opinions and stuff. I honestly, like my opinion, I've seen a lot of stuff since growing up, and I really don't know if they're really, aliens from another planet. I really, honestly, I think they're demonic. That's like my opinion. I believe that they're demonic, and and they're here to not to help us out, but they're here to pretty much, help us, with the technology. But the technology that we're getting is not really helping us out. It's pretty much destroying us. That's pretty much my opinion. Because if you heard about the Area 51, or way back in the day where they were doing, they did a ritual or something, and they all of a sudden opened up a portal and something came through or whatever. And ever since then, it seems like stuff is coming through. And that's just my opinion. I really think that it's pretty much either demonic or something like that. I really don't think that it's,
Yeah, you're not the only one, Dominic, you're not the only one about that believe that. There's people in the chat right now that are agreeing with you about this could be satanic. Goat could be a reference to a demon or a demonic entity. How would you say goat in Spanish?
I don't even know, man, to tell you the truth.
What?
I really don't. That's the sad thing about it. I don't. But the way I look at it, man, is like I don't know, some people believe in the Bible, some people don't, whatever. But like the way it said, the world is, pretty much at its final peak, and when it happens, it's going to be pretty much the way it was when the last pages is with Noah's Ark. And at that time, it seemed like these entities, or whatever you want to call them, demonic, aliens, whatever, they were mixing animals, doing this and all kinds of stuff. And I think we're back at the same thing again, because I believe whatever's going down at that Dulce Archuleta Mesa, I think they're making their own breed. They're making their own things. And I think when shit hits the fan, excuse my language, I really think that they're going to unleash their creatures or whatever it is, and it's basically going to be hell on earth. That's my opinion, because they got something going on underneath that that mesa.
They always got something going on. That's for sure. They got something going on, demonic or not. Well, there's something going on. It's something sinister because they're not sharing it with us, and it might not be. We might not like what they're doing, but especially when they're crossbreeding goats and humans it's a genetic engineering, a chimera.
Anything, exactly.
Yeah.
So, exactly. And then one time I seen it was I looked up in the sky, and all of a sudden it was I want to say it was black because it was dark outside, but you could see it because it was covering the stars. It was at least, I want to say, this thing had to have been something like a mothership. You know what I'm saying? It was humongous. I mean, it was humongous. I was like, oh my, like, what the heck is this? And it had lights in the bottom, but you couldn't hear nothing. And it was just humongous. I mean, I don't know if it's just an illusion just for us to, think, what we're seeing or what, or it's really a ship. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I've seen a lot of things in my 38 years of living. I've seen a lot of stuff, and yeah, it could be UFOs. I mean, don't get me wrong, or it could be these demonic, creatures that are trying to say that they're from another planet, or what, or they really ride in a ship, or it could be, to me, or it could be fallen angels that have the power to transform, just like that plane that stopped in the midair. Remember that plane?
Oh yeah. It looks
that
like
plane in the midair.
Major airliners have the technology that they're not sharing with us. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like for a big plane like that, you just stop in the air. I mean, I don't know, you know what I mean? Because it looked like there was nothing in the bottom for it to hover it or anything like that. I'm just like, that's just too much of a big plane for it to do something like that. But once again, like I said, if people believe in, God or whatever, that's up to them. But if there's, was fallen angels, I'm saying if there was fallen angels, they can transform into stuff, and they have the power to transform. And if it could transform into a plane, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something like that.
Sure. If these gods are gods, if these gods have the power to manipulate whatever they want, the environment, the atoms, they can materialize anything out of thin air. They could pretty much control and harness the energy, basically like the Matrix, but with no struggle whatsoever. So if this is what's going on, then that's quite incredible. I got a feeling it might be some of this stuff. So, I got to get to other callers, but man, appreciate
no problem,
enlightening everybody on this, and good questions tonight.
Thank you, Blake. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah, wow. Some good experiences right there, and that's what we like right here at Third Phase. I mean, there's so many callers that I don't think we're going to be able to get to everybody, but we'll try. We only do this once a week, every Friday night, because we know it's special, and we're the only guys on the planet doing this and sharing it in real time, and no censorship, no screen calls, no nothing. We just take it as it comes in. People want to share, so let's get to it. 702, you're on.
Hey guys, it's Chalice.
Chalice is back. How you doing tonight?
I'm okay. Supposed to give a message to everybody.
Yeah, your husband's been through some procedures. I'm hoping that things are going well with that.
As good as it gets, but we're hiding out. We have video that I'm going to release, and I was going to give it to you. We were being surrounded, and they came into our house and our apartment, and we ran out and went down the street, and we stayed in the parking lot to see if anybody else could see what was happening. And the helicopters were the two police helicopters, and then there was a ambulance helicopter. Yeah, well, no, they weren't Black Ops. They're using the cops against me. It's like they're trying to intimidate me and my husband, and we've lost everything, and they've gotten us down to nothing, and now we're hiding. But I got the video, and I'm going to release it and give it to you. It shows that the helicopters are 3 following us. They went around us 12 times. I couldn't get any other recordings about what I had. And then suddenly, out of the blue, I'm like, why are they following me? But then I was talking to my space people, my guides. And then I look up, and there they are. And then you see the helicopter turn into a plane from this. It's all on video. So maybe you guys can look at it, tell me what you think. But I didn't want to. It transformed in front of us more than 12 times. It followed us. It stayed in the area with us. We had 5 ground ambulances following us. It was like we were something out of a movie. So we packed up, took our animals, took the kids to the parents' house. Now it's just me and my husband, and we're hid out in this one place. But they came after us full-fledged into the apartment. And, our neighbors came running over. Who are these guys coming in your house? Men in black? Are there military? There's dogs? I'm not going back there. It got radical. And he went for his surgery, and he made it. The doctor came from the middle of nowhere, and we didn't even know who he was, and he did it and walked out, and Me and Bill got up and walked out the same day because we didn't want to trust being in the hospital with everything that's been happening. But I thought I would announce that I'm going to actually endorse Hillary. I wasn't going to endorse anybody because of what they told me. But after learning about, I already know about half the stuff at Area 51. I'm not going to lie to you. Hillary's been in my life since I was a little girl. She's the ambassador to the earth. Not Trump. Trump don't talk to anybody like that. Hillary's been in my life since I was little for Area 51 doing it.
You know Hillary Clinton personally?
Oh, I wish. All I know is she calls every now and then. All I know is that I knew she was going to be president. I know she's going to be president because when everybody figures it out, and I don't know, I think that they want me to do this anyway, so I'm going to do it. I mean, I believe that she's going to come clean. I thought Obama would do it, but he never did. But I trust in Hillary because she is our ambassador to Earth. She's going to be the one that is going to let us know everything when she's ready. If she becomes president, then the higher beings will have to accept the fact that maybe we have a chance to know the truth of our knowledge and our technology and the truth about what's happening. But I don't know. I took a hell of a risk to call you tonight and to send the video. They'll figure out where I'm at. And I got to go again. I ain't seen my grandkids in how long, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Well, Chalice, be safe. You know, one thing we at Third Phase Moon, we're not endorsing any candidate but for president. But if anybody wants to call in and endorse a candidate, like you just heard, that's not a problem whatsoever. So that's cool.
Well, I remember I was neutral. I was told not to choose. But if we have to choose somebody that is somebody that knows half of the people at Area 51, and I'm pretty positive Trump don't know him. I never seen him there. So I only knew since I was a little girl about Hillary, and I used to think someday I was going to be like her, and she kept promising she'd be president. And I didn't talk to her all through the whole time of your show, and I thought, okay, you know, just let's think about this. And then I had a couple of my friends or beings who told me that you have to have somebody. You have to have an ambassador. You have to have somebody that will do this. And I said, yes, I do. I have to have somebody. So who am I going to choose? The Trump card? No. I mean, I'm not putting him down. I don't really care either way. But I choose Hillary because I know for a fact that when she can and when she will release the truth, the whole world's going to change. And I'm hoping that maybe she'll do it for us. Maybe she'll do it soon so that we can move on. But if she does, then the whole world's going to freak out and they're going to start thinking this or that and, ooh, devil worship. And every time you get into technology, there's always somebody in the background going, devil worship. Now, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather just make planets and I believe in God. And if you believe in one creator, and the ones I know believe in only one creator, and they believe in the angels, and they tell you, but I'm really nervous about it, but I've thought about it. I've been praying. I've tried to choose, and I already know. They already told me it was going to be it, so why argue with the situation? Because they've already made it clear that my husband will never get disability, Social Security. I'll never get help in any form. There's no way it's possible. We've been denied in everything that we've done. So money is really kind of scarce, and we're just barely making it if we didn't have the kids that we depend on to go here and there and hide out. But we got the one video. I'm going to show it to you. I don't know how long I can last doing this stuff. It's getting a little hairy. We hide all day during the day. So at night, basically, kind of nervous. At least they're not in my door in my house walking through anymore. They can't ever.
Well, get us the evidence. We'll put it out there, as we always do, and we appreciate the call and the information that Chalice has been giving us for the past couple of years, I'd have to say. And whether you agree with her on who she endorses or not, that's basically not the point. Obama could beat Hillary to the punch anytime. There's still a few months left. And You just never know. You just never know. Maybe they'll just beat everybody to the punch already, which they are. We're seeing the evidence. They're getting closer, people. They're getting really close. So, Chalice, share that video, contact it, share it on Facebook. There's our visitor share post area that's always open 24/7. So it's quite amazing, a major portal to the world live for your viewing, for your sharing. So that's what we like to do, is share. So let's share another story before Third Phase of Moon is ready for next week. We got one more caller, so let's get another story in. 478, you made it to the show. What's your name? 478,
Hello?
You there? Yep, we got you.
Yeah, this is Blake. Hey, Blake.
Yeah, it is. Pretty good, man. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Patrick. I'm from Georgia. Well,
All right,
that's where
Patrick.
I'm living right now.
All right,
Anyway,
cool, you're on the show. We're live.
Okay, old guy here. All right, I'm 55 years old. I just thought you might want to hear a UFO story of mine.
Absolutely.
Back when I was like 13 years old.
Nice.
So,
this is way
this is
before
kinda
drones or anything like that, just something crazy that you saw. How old were you at the time?
I was about 13.
All right.
I was with my mom and a friend of ours, but she wanted to go pick up a Pekingese because our dog had died a few weeks back. And we went with her to Westwood, Kentucky, to a trailer park. It was a warm summer evening, and just a little gravel road going into this little trailer park with a cul-de-sac at the end of it. So we parked off to the side, pointing toward the cul-de-sac, and she asked us to go check out this one trailer and ask them if that was the right place, you know. So me and John, my friend that went with me, he was like a year younger than me. So we walked up to this trailer, knocked on the door, and nobody answered. So as we turned around to leave, we heard a window slide open. There was a couple teenage girls in there. And they were like, "Did you see that? Did you see that up in the sky?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And they were pretty much hysterical. And it kind of scared us a little bit, you know. So, like I said, we were pretty young, so we headed back to the car to my mom. And by the time we got there, right at the end of the cul-de-sac was nothing but trees. And a big red glowing disc came out over the top of it. And I mean, it was just barely skimming the treetops. And it was pretty direct, almost directly over top of us. And it was glowing. You could tell the bottom was perfectly flat. And it was pulsating like a red orange light on the bottom.
This is cool. One sec. I want to get in real fast. And what you're saying is extraordinary. What's amazing is that right away you witnessed two people that encountered something, and they're kind of shocked. And then now all of a sudden you're seeing what they've been explaining to you. Now, what are you feeling at that point? Like now? Well,
the thing about it is I was pretty literate for a 13-year-old. I actually liked reading the newspaper. And I remember earlier in the week in the Ashland Daily Independent up there, they had an article about some UFO sightings. I don't even think I read the whole article. I just remember seeing that. But, you know, so it freaked me out. And like I said, we walked back to the car, and this disc came out. You know, it could have been maybe 20, 30 feet wide. And it was perfectly flat on the bottom, didn't make a sound, you know, classic kind of UFO thing. So we're looking up at it, and then another one comes out right behind it. And then another one. There was three of them, and they were almost directly over top of us. And each of them were pulsating, but not in time with each other, but, you know, the same kind of rhythm, but not with each other. And we sat there and watched them. And I remember looking around, and I could see other people at the trailer park, like some people were on their porch or in their front yard, and nobody was making a sound. Everybody was just staring at them. It was really pretty spooky, you know. And and these things were going super slow, maybe 2 miles an hour. So we watched them for several minutes until they cleared the trailer park, which is kind of in a little valley. And then they kind of disappeared over the horizon. About that time, my mom said, "It's time to go." So we all jumped in the car and went up to the top of the hill to get back on the main road. This was way out in the country, so it was a 2-lane little blacktop. But we made a right and went down the road about a block and pulled over on the other side of the road. And it was nothing but a big valley because it's all hills up there. And we got out and looked. And, you know, I didn't see anything in the sky. And I looked down the hill right in front of us, and there was some power lines going down. And the 3 saucers that we saw were actually now below us, following, like on the left side of the power lines, just following the power lines. And you could see the top of them now, and they were like a silver metallic kind of color, dull, and they had a dome on top of each of them. And we sat there and watched them for another few minutes until they kind of went around the base of the hill, following the power lines. And to this day, you know, I know what I saw, but very few people have ever believed me. Of course, I don't really tell many people about that story, but I just thought you might get a kick out of that one. That's all 100% true.
Man, you know, I'm just like thinking, well, you just told a beautiful story, and I believe it. I believe it 100%. It just sounds like you're telling it honestly, and that's what I believe. I believe pretty much everybody that calls in, but you know, that's just me. But your story sounds so genuine, and the way you must have felt like almost reminisce when you watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind later in life. Wow, I'm seeing this all over again.
Well, you know, as you live your life past that point, you know, your perspective on things change. You know, whenever you see something on TV and you see people like talking about UFOs, they're always put down. They're always ridiculed. And but you know it's true. You know there's things out there that can't be explained. Well, nobody's going to explain it to you. You just have to guess. But you know, I know what I saw. So that's kind of colored my whole life. You know, and when you see, you know the government is going to deny it because a lot of people can't handle that kind of thing. You know, they have a hard enough time getting through life as it is, you know. So why put that extra burden on people?
You handled it, man. You handled it, and it sounds like you really appreciate it. You know what? It's the end of the show, and that was a great caller. Man, this is a real privilege to be here with everybody every Friday. We'll be back next week. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see you again next time.
Third.